Resources and development. Hello everyone. Here we are starting with the Geography 10th standard first chapter, that is resource and development. In the first part of this chapter we are going to look only about the resources, and in the other part of this chapter we will be looking the development of this resource. Okay, first we will thoroughly understand what is meant by the resources, and then we will understand how the resource get developed day by day and what are the consequences, what are the problems regarding all that development on the resources, like degradation of resources, depletion of the resources are some of the issues or the problems in the environment. So this all we will be looking in this chapter. Let's proceed. So first of all, you should know what is resource. Resource can be anything. Like for example, if you're having mobile phone, that is your resource. If you're having shoes, that is your resource. If you're having books, pen, pencil, that all thing is your resource. Okay, so resource can be anything which has a utility, which has a value. For example, if I'm having my clothes, if I'm having my house, if I'm having my shop, it means that this all things are valuable for me and this all thing is having some worth of it. So that's why this will be called as resource. Okay, so there are some resources like which are like for example, if I'm having the school uniform and if my mother is not having the school uniform, okay, so that school uniform what I am having will be a value for me only. My mother will be not having the value for that uniform. Why? Because that is my resource and that will be utilized for me, not for my mother. Okay, so any resources whatever you are having, that can be called as a resources. Pen, pencil, food, ice cream, anything can be called as a resources. So let's see what actual resources is. Everything available on environment. Okay, everything available on environment which is used to satisfy our needs. Okay, and that if it is satisfying your needs, it should be technologically accessible, economically feasible and culturally acceptable. It should be, okay, and that is known as a resources. Here why the term is used technologically accessible, economically feasible, because the resources like gold, silver, many like copper, many soil resources like different types of soils, and there are many types of resources which need the technology to harness them and to bring at the final level so that we can utilize it. Okay, suppose jewelry what we are wearing of a gold jewelry, okay, so similarly that is not available in the environment or in the on the earth. It is not available ready-made. The jewelry design is not available anywhere. Okay, so first gold has to be technologically harnessed from the mining process, then it is gone, then it is sent to the processing method, then from there from the ore of the gold, the main purity of the gold is taken out, and from that the pure goldsmith or the artist person architect that or do the designing of that jewelry, then it comes to the market. Okay, so this is a long process. So that's why it is said that if any resource is there, it should be technologically accessible, economically feasible. Economically feasible means it should not take much money. Okay, if I am selling the gold, okay, but to mine from the earth it takes a double money what I am selling, what I am making profit. Okay, but after taking out from the earth and in the process of the mining, if it taking 2 times or the 3 times of the my profit, then it is no use. Okay, so it is said that it should be economically feasible. So resources can be water, soil, metals, flora, fauna. It can be anything. Let's move. Actually the human being is a main resource. Human being is a main resource. Why? Because whatever the resources available on the earth, like water, air, tree, flora, fauna, anything available on the earth, if just imagine the earth without the human being. Can you imagine that? If earth is not present at all on earth planet, no man is present. Just imagine what would have happened. Okay, there would be no man to utilize the water resources. There would be no man to utilize the iron ore or any other aluminum ore, bauxite ore, any ore. Okay, any ores or any other plant material or any other animals. Okay, flora and fauna. So what it is said here, human being is the best resources because it utilizes the other resources by these three factors, that is physical environment. It utilizes physical environment, by technology, and by setting up of institution. So the process of transformation of things available in environment involves an interdependent relationship between nature and technology and institution. Getting? Let's move to the next. Now, in the earlier class, this thing is very clear that resource is classified into two group, that is natural resources and the human resources. Natural resources means which is derived directly from the nature. Okay, and human being resources means it is a man-made resources which human being has manipulated or human being has made on the earth. That type of resource is called human-made resources. Here natural resources is again classified into a renewable resources, non-renewable resources. Renewable resources, it mean that it can be renewed, and non-renewable resources, it mean that it cannot be renewed. Again, renewable resources is bifurcated into two parts, that is continuous flow, for example wind, water, and biological. Biological again divided into wildlife and natural vegetation. These are all the subtypes of this thing, but majorly it is divided into a two category, that is natural resources and the human or man-made resources. Here non-renewable resources is bifurcated into recyclable and non-recyclable. Non-recyclable very best example is fossil fuels, and recyclable example is metals. It means that if metal is taken one form, it can be transformed or it can be melted and it can be given other form or the other shape. So it is called recyclable. And non-recyclable in the sense fossil fuels or the petrol, diesel, this all comes under the fossil fuel. Why it is said that non-recyclable? Because if once it got exhausted, it takes millions, trillions of the years to bring them back. Got clear this thing, classification of the resources? Let's move to the other topic. Let's see types of resources. Types of resources. In the earlier or in the lower standard, we have cleared this. Okay, on the basis of origin, if we are talking on the basis of the origin resources, we are having the two types of resources, that is biotic resources and abiotic resources. Biotic resources means the resource which has the life. Okay, for example animals, plants comes under the biotic resources, whereas abiotic resources means non-living things. Non-living things comes under the abiotic resources. For example water, soil, rocks, mountains are the abiotic resources. Coming to the second type of the resource, that is on the basis of the exhaustibility. Okay, so first one is renewable resources, second one is non-renewable resources. Earlier in the flow chart we have seen that renewable resources comes like, for example metal, it can be renewed. Okay, so suppose if metal is there, if you have given some of the shape and you have utilized for the 5 years, 2 years, okay, and like if you want to convert it into a other shape, or you want to if you want to go for the melting, and then if you want to convert into other shape, you can go for that. Okay, so that will be called as renewable resources. Whereas the non-renewable resources like fossil fuels, if once it get exhausted, it will not come back. On the basis, coming to the third category, that is on the basis of ownership. Okay, resources on the basis of ownership. Suppose for example, if you're having your farmhouse, okay, your farmland, so your farmland is your individual resource. Okay, so it comes under individual resource. If you're having any simple plot also, that resource is a land resource, and that resource comes under an individual resource. Coming to the second one, community owned resource. The name itself says that the resource which is owned by the community. For example, if we are having a common hall, a program hall, okay, if in any of the urban area or any of the rural area, if you're having a common program hall, so that program hall is one of the resource, okay, that can be called as a community owned resource. Or if you're having a park, okay, so public community park, if it is set up by the community of that society or that village people or of that city area people, so that can be called as a community owned resources. It means that the right on that resources will be of the community member. No any other member can utilize that resources. Coming to the natural resources. Natural resources means nation is having its own some of the natural resources. For example, the Himalaya mountain of the India is one of the natural resource of India. It's not of any, like the part which is falling under the India, that resource is only for the India. Okay, for example, the water quantity which is flowing in the river Ganga, which is passing through the Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Assam, then that all resources will be of India. For example, if other example we are taking Western Ghat and Eastern Ghat, Deccan Plateau, these all resources are of India. So no any other country has the authority or has the right to utilize that all resources. Coming to the international resources. International resources means what? There are some resources which are having the international right. Suppose like Indian Ocean. We say it is Indian Ocean. It doesn't mean that the right on the Indian Ocean is only of India. Okay, the neighboring country utilizes that water. Neighboring country utilizes that all water. So what it means that this is the one of the international resource. Coming to the status of development. Status of development, that is potential resources, developed resources, stock and reserve. What here mean that potential resources mean, for example, if any of the resource potential is having that area, for example, Gujarat or Rajasthan is having the solar energy production capacity. Okay, because more sunlight falls in this area like Rajasthan and the Gujarat, so we have the solar energy resource potential, so it can be called as it is having the potential. Still, due to some of the technology, we have not reached to the up to the mark to harness this resources. Now, developed resources in the sense developed, it is already developed that all resources like hydro power generation resources, it's developed. Wind power resources, it's developed. So it is like it is developed. It is not still on the way, or still we know that the resources are there, but we don't know that technology how to get that all resources. No, it is not like that. It happens in the potential resources. We know that this area is having the resources, but we don't have the technology to get that all resources in the utility. Stock is similar as the potential resources. Stock means the resources are in the stock. Even reserve is also subset of the stock resource. Moving to the development of the resources. Development of the resources, it means that, for example, this all many resources are available on the earth. This many resources are available on the earth, and the development of that resources is done. Definitely, if you are doing continuously development of that resources, it will get depleted or it will get decreased. Okay, if the resources are getting decreased, there are some of the resources which we have seen that it can be replenished in the very fast period. It comes again, okay, but there are some resources which takes millions or trillions of the time. So here what we should do, we should use the resources in a sustainable way. Sustainable way means we should use or we should utilize the resources for our needs also, and we should keep the resources for the coming next generation also. That is known as a sustainable development or sustainable development resources it can be. Because nowadays it is it is seen that only the few people are having the great resources. There is an indiscrimination exploitation of the resources. If anyone is having the plot of the land and on that land many trees are grown, okay, so if that person want to make some construction work over there, definitely that person will cut out that all trees and everything, okay. So this is one of the discrimination is happening on the earth, and this is greediness of few individuals, okay. Moving to the next, let's see what the exactly sustainable development mean. It means that development should take place without damaging the environment, and development in the present should not compromise with the needs of future generation. It means that we should keep some of the resources for the coming up of generation. We are the generation in which we are residing, we are getting almost all the resources. It means that our forefather has kept the resources for us, that's why we are using. So our duty is also that to keep the resources for the coming up next generation. Now how you can keep the resources, okay, how you can go for the sustainable development resources. There are many resource planning in India, like you can go for the identification, inventory of the resources first, like you should identify this resource is useful for you or not. Like suppose for example, if you want to do the mining at the Himalayan region or any of the state, okay, so first you just go and do the research whether you're going to get the resource what you want over there or not, then only you do then only you start mining over there, okay. Simply you will be, if you will start simply the mining without any invention, without any research or without any identification, definitely you will waste your energy, even economy will go, even our environment will get damaged. So there should be evolution of the planning structure, matching the resource development plans with overall national development plans. Okay, if you are doing in this way, definitely we will save our resources for the coming up of generation, and that will be called as a sustainable development, or it will be a best resource planning in India. If someone is doing resource planning, if someone is doing the development, definitely there will be a land degradation. And if there is a land degradation, our responsibility is to conserve that degradation, or we should take some of the conservation methods. Like for example, if someone is cutting up the tree, if you are having any land, for example if you are having land and you want to construct some of the thing or some of the building over there, okay, you do it there, cut the tree, you do that. But it is said that if you are cutting the one tree, you should plant the 10 trees. Okay, one tree equals to the 10 tree, you should plant like that. Okay, so here what it means that afforestation you can do. If you are doing some of the, if you are cutting the tree and if you want to do construction over there, you can go for it. But on the other hand side, just go for the afforestation also. Okay, so that will be called as conservation methods. Then proper management of grazing, then planting of shelter belts of the plants, stabilization of sand dunes by growing thorny bushes, proper management of wasteland in the sense, like for example, for many years the land is like simply no growing of the crops, no farming over there, nothing happens there, okay. So it is called that wasteland. The people should utilize that land, okay. Control of mining activities, there should be a control of mining activity, because like simply some of the higher authority people start mining at any place, and mining is a hazardous for the human being also, human health also. Proper discharge and disposal of industrial effluents and waste after treatment, like if chemical industry is there or any other pulp industry is there, they should discharge their effluents or the waste after proper treatment. in the water. Generally the big industries, they discharge their waste in the water bodies and directly they leave without any treatment to the waste, and it affects the marine life resources on a very large scale. I hope so you got this. Go through the chapter once again and read that, then watch this video. You will have the clear cut idea. Thank you so much.